And I remember when I heard you speak, you spoke even about the athlete who then watches the game films afterwards, and how valuable that is. It's a similar concept of just watching it and
micro-evaluation, micro-feedback. So you're a pro football player, and you play your game Sunday. You know Monday morning you're sitting in the film room with the coach watching the tape of that game. Matter of fact, you know on Tuesday's practice, you're watching the practice tape with the coach Tuesday afternoon. When people know they're being evaluated, they rise to the occasion. You know, it's been known for a long time. Most people will rise to your level of expectation. When an employee knows you're paying attention, they tend to pay attention too. And not in a big brother way, but more in a synergistic way of, look, you actually care, you're paying attention to what I'm doing, well then I'll care too. Most employee lack of engagement comes from working in a culture and environment where they feel like everybody around them is not engaged. Well, if you're a manager who's engaged in developing your people will suddenly become much more engaged in their own development too.
Right, that makes sense.
Right.
And pay attention to me, I'm going to perform differently than if I know. Sometimes in some companies I've heard this annual performance review doesn't even happen at the year anniversary.
And so what happened was, we've seen this move in the last 5-10 years, bigger companies. Some people said, we're just going to get rid of the employee evaluation process. And the reason for that is they recognize it's a waste of time and it's a waste of money. What they didn't recognize is it's a missed opportunity. Communications has these principles, we see them everywhere. If you write your team one email a year and it's 46 paragraphs, they're not going to get anything out of that. If you write them 46 one-paragraph emails over the course of the year, you'll build the relationship. And that's the concept behind Trigger. It's just short intervals, quick cycle, a lot of touch points, and that's how relationships grow. I don't care if it's when you were dating your husband, it still are, I hope, whether you're spending time with your kids. My philosophy as a parent was, I used to bristle when people say, oh, I'm spending quality time with my kids. Really? How do you know? My philosophy as a parent was, spend quantity time with your kids and the quality will emerge. Well, it's no different in the employer-employee, manager-employee relationship. You got to spend time with your people for that quality to emerge. And once that quality emerges, now you start to build a quality relationship, and that's where the magic happens.
And it's just showing you care.
Bottom line.
It's not just a job.
Connection.
It's not just a job to fill out that form. And a point you made, which is really important, is that when we get these long, and even with emails, when it's not even a performance review, we get the long emails, we don't read it. I coach a lot of my clients to just make it short, get to the point, and don't start adding all this information because it will all get lost in the email.
And a big part of the science behind that is when your brain sees a long email, your brain tells you subconsciously, I don't have time for this, which raises your level of anxiety, which floods your body with adrenaline, which is a negative stimulus. And once you've experienced that once, your brain is on the lookout for that same situation. So the next long email, same reaction. So that's why people hate year-end reviews, because they're super time-consuming. They have the experience that they haven't worked, and they're just checking a box, and they're doing whatever they have to do to be part of the corporate policy. Well, nobody's improved that way. No coach ever made a player great that way. No teacher ever elevated a student's performance. No piano teacher ever made a virtuoso student because they just checked boxes. And nobody in business has done it either.